Hello, this is Private Hoots, and I'm going to be going through a guide on how to create a mission for the TacSource community. First off, we are going to, sorry about the squeaky chair, going to want to go to mods, and we're going to want to select the mod pack we're using. We're going to be using the standard mod pack, but to create a mission, first we're going to want to add in 2 extra mods. We're going to add Achilles, because that will let you test your Zeus skills in the same way as you will in the actual game, and we also want to add Eden Enhanced or Threeden Enhanced. That just gives us a few extra options in the editor. You don't need it. I personally like to have it, mostly for a few of the helpful options. And once you set that up, you just go ahead and click play and load into Armor. Okay, once we've loaded up into Armor, we're going to want to go ahead and go to the editor. You can either access it through single player editor, or you click on this big guy down here. We are going to be making our mission today on Altis. You can use any map you want, and it's useful to load into the actual map you want to first, although you can load out and change later if you decide that actually you want to use a different map. The mission concept we're going to be making today is an AAF force attacking a FIA held outpost. Nice and simple, just to show the basic features of the editor. So when we load into the map, we're going to want to find a good spot for our mission to take place. I've pre-scanned the map for a nice little place, so I'm going to just go straight there. So right click lets you look around, Q and Z is up and down, W, A, S and D is move around. Press M to open up the map, and I know I want to set my mission in this kind of area. So we're going to have this as our FIA outpost, and we're going to attack with our AAF friends from Agios Konstantinos. AAF being everyone's favourite bungling military force. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do as you're making a Zeus mission is place down the Zeus modules. There are a few different ways of doing this. You can either do it, there are 2 different ways in fact. You can either do it as having a unit that actually runs around and then you press Y and can go into the Zeus interface, or you can be locked into the Zeus interface. I'm going to show you both methods here. So let's do locked into Zeus interface to start with. For both of these things we're going to need the Game Master module. So you place that guy down, double click on it, and this is stuff we're going to have to change in a bit, but forced interface we want to tick. So okay. And logic entities, we can want to go into virtual entities, and Zeus, doesn't really matter which any one of these are, so we can just put one down. This guy is our player, and we're going to give him a name, we're going to call him Zeus. If we double click on here, owner, we can want to set this to the thing we just named. So now this unit has access to this module. Now I'm going to test that. Oh, one thing I forgot to do, double click. Set this to all add-ons, including unofficial ones, because then we'll actually get the RHS units that we can play with, although we're not going to be using this mission. I click play in single player there. You can click play in multiplayer as well. It doesn't matter. This is just a little bit faster for prototyping. Okay, and I'm in the Zeus interface. I can have the familiar Zeus controls, and because I loaded Achilles, we have all of the nice Achilles options that we can use. You can place down units, etc., etc. Okay. Press escape, return to editor. That's if you want to have a standalone Zeus without a forced interface Zeus. What it does enable you to do is your voice emanates from your camera position, so you can zoom up to people and talk to them, and then zoom away again if you don't want to have to hear them later on. I personally, however, prefer using an actual unit. So for this I'm going to use an AAF officer as my Zeus unit. So place him down. I'm going to call him Zeus up here, and role description I'm actually going to type Zeus in big letters here. This appears in the multiplayer menu when you log into the game. It just tells you which unit has the Zeus slot enabled. This we don't have to change because we've already got our own Zeus, but we do want to untick forced interface. Now when I play the scenario, I'm this unit instead of and disembodied camera. If I press Y, I go into the Zeus interface like I had before. Okay, excellent. I'm going to keep with using an individual unit, but if you want to use the standalone unit, that's fine too. One thing, let's just test it works in multiplayer. You got to play in multiplayer. We don't have to worry about this because we're just testing it for us. Maybe press OK. And see Zeus, that's the name we gave him. And we can select our slot. Press OK. Have to press continue and then you're into the mission. See, it's a little bit of a longer process, that's why I tend to prototype in single player and then do a few run-throughs in the multiplayer testing before finally publishing the mission. And again, press Y and we go into the Zeus interface. Excellent. Again, when we abort, we go back to the lobby instead of straight back to the editor. It's a slightly longer process, it doesn't matter which way, whatever way around you want to do it. Okay, so this is if we want to just have a guy sitting in the mission. We don't have it yet, have a way for players to spawn in, so we're going to have to put one of those in. Go to Systems, Modules, and we want Multiplayer, and then Respawn Position, and you just put this wherever you want. I'm going to put it here. If you double click on it, we're going to want to give it a name, AF Starting Position, and type. Infantry is normally leave that as infantry. Leading side, you want to change this to independent, and these two, because we generally don't do opposed missions, doesn't matter too much, although you can change this to only the side if you want to. And now we're going to have to set up some settings, because otherwise, if we spawn in right now, we're not actually going to be able to use this. So let's set up initially just some general settings. So author, hoots, title of our mission, let's call it. So if you use some kind of naming convention, that's good. Personally, I use mod packs, in this case TacSource, type of mission, Zeus, number of players, minimum, I'm going to say we need at least 4 players, maximum, I'm going to say we need to have at most 16 players of this, then I'll give it a name, and this name is going to be, let's call it Iron Circle. And also our version 1. This is the title to be shown in the mission select screen. You can actually have this be different from the save title of your mission, but so this is the one that you're going to want to update if you change the versions. Overview. So this is the description that is shown in the missions menu. So it's AF Forces Attack at Fear Outpost. DLC none, and we do not require any DLC. All of this stuff you can just leave the same. Oh, Independence Allegiance. Scenes as we're going to be fighting Fear, we can just leave this as it is. This just means independents are friendly to Blue 4 and enemies to Op 4. We just have to make sure we use Op 4 Fear for our missions. Okay, that was the general ones. Now we want multiplayer attributes. Undefined game mode, let's go and put it in Zeus. This doesn't actually do anything, but it's just nice. Minimum players, I'm going to set it to 1. Maximum 17. So that's 16 players plus a Zeus slot, and that's just 1, so that you can always go in and test your mission. Summary, that's a short scenario summary that's shown in the lobby. AF Forces Attacker Fear Position. It doesn't have to be the same as the description. Respawn. We want to set this to respawn on custom position. And here we also want to do select respawn position. If you don't tick this, then you just respawn where you die. And we also want to show respawn counter. That's the countdown. And the respawn delay we're going to put to 5. If you put it as 1, or 0, sorry, if you put it as 0, then you end up spawning in the bottom left hand corner and everyone has a bad time. The rest of this we can leave the same because we're going to have loadout saving and revives and medic systems done through ACE. So click OK. One thing I forgot to mention, enable AI. You can have this on or off, not on or off. We're going to leave it off because we don't really want any AI in our mission. That's player. What you can have your player slots controlled by AI if somebody disconnects, etc. Okay, finally we're going to set up the ACE settings. So go to settings and add-on options, and you'll have something that looks like this. We want to edit the mission settings. So first off, because we were talking about respawning, we're going to go to ACE respawn, save gear, yes, remove bodies, yes, but we want to overwrite client, so we want to always remove bodies and always save gear. Then we're going to go to ACE Zeus down here. We don't want any of these are all fine, because this just gives players extra help. We don't like that. But we do want to add objects to curator. This means anything we have put in the mission will be added to the Zeus interface. We want that. Then there's the big boy, which is Ace Medical, which involves lots of fiddling around with. So we're going to want a medical level to be set to advanced. We want medic setting to advanced. We're going to have locations boost training enabled for players only. So this is who uses the advanced medical system. The AI won't actually heal themselves if they use the advanced medical system. So we're going to leave that as players only, although you can change it if you want. Overdosing, yes, you can overdose. We're going to leave a lot of these the same. Enable advanced wounds. We want your wounds to be able to reopen. Okay, the rest of this stuff is pretty good. We want to set AI unconsciousness, however, to disabled. Personally, I prefer it this way. If you shoot somebody, they actually die, as opposed to they have a chance of waking up. It makes it harder if they have a chance to wake up. So this thing we actually don't want to touch. We want to go past this all the way down to enable epinephrine. So allow epinephrine, we're going to set to everyone, so anyone can do this. Allow packs, we're going to set to doctors only, and surgical kits we're also going to set to doctors only. Remove packs on use. Yes. Remove surgical kits. No, and we want to overwrite. You can either tick it or you can tick it in there. Locations of packs, vehicles, facility, we're going to set this to anywhere. And locations, surgical kits, we're going to set to anywhere as well. Conditions, we're going to set to stable and stable. So this means that you can pack and surgical kit someone anywhere in the world, but they have to be in a stable position, so they have to not be bleeding or having a cardiac arrest or anything like that. Okay, heal hit points, we're going to turn this on. This means that if you're bandaged, you get a lot of hit points, you get your durability back. And scroll down, we're going to have use medical menu enabled. I'm going to click OK. And now we're going to want to test all those changes we just made. So we made changes to respawn and the medical menu. So we've already got our respawn position in. I'm going to put down a guy just to test our medical settings with. So here's a bloke. I'm going to go and test our medical settings with him. So I'm going to play, and it's defaulted to play in multiplayer now. Zeus, and see, this is our description that we typed in. There's a slightly different description. This one says outpost rather than position. Okay, so see we've got the respawn position here, and I'm going to go ahead and click continue. And now instead of loading straight into the map, we load into the respawn screen, where we can select where we can respawn. Okay, so here we are. So now, this guy, yep, he looks like the default A stuff is working. I'm going to give myself a medic class to test the rest of this out with. So AF men. Where is he? Combat lifesaver, there we go.
Waiting.
And then if you hold control and double click in Achilles, that loads you into the medical interface. Now if we look, I can give him saline, I can object, epinephrine, morphine, etc. and things like this. However, I can't pack him because, one, I have no packs. So I'm going to have to give myself a pack and a medic bag, the FSG medic bag that we're using. So I can double click on this guy, go to Arsenal, wait for it to load. So backpack, misc items. I give him a medic bag, and then for testing we also want to give him a pack and a surgical kit. That's it. Close. We just end up zoomed in on the floor. Okay, go back into the unit. So I can do everything I did before, but I still can't pack him. That's because I have not put down the medic bag. Place that down. Now I can surgical kit him, or personal aid kit him, and I can do all the stuff I didn't do before. If I shoot him in the leg,
What? Check your goddamn fire!
gets a bit angry at me. But now if you see I can't pack him or surgical kit him, that's because he has an owie owie leg now. So I'm going to pack and bandage his leg. And press. Now see he's fine, but I can personally kit him and surgical kit him. So if I surgical kit him, I'm basically stitching up his leg here so it doesn't reopen. Yep, and he's fine. And if I personal aid kit him, I've still got my surgical kit, you noticed. There we go. I personal aid kit him. Now my personal aid kit has disappeared. If I pick this guy back up, I can still give him saline because I'm a medic, but I can't surgical kit him anymore. Okay, press Y to go back to the Zeus interface. So that is working nicely. Okay. Go back to the editor. Okay, now we're going to place down the units the players are going to be playing as. So, nice easy way of doing this is grab a rifle squad and place them down, and then do any modifications you want to that. So instead of going through and changing all these guys' loadouts, I'm actually going to give the players an arsenal to play with. First, I'm going to edit this guy because I want to have a proper engineer, and I'm also going to edit this guy because I want them to have a mouse instead of a N-law. Right, so this guy, go to object type. So instead of him being a rifleman, you are now going to be a repair specialist. And you, instead of being, you're going to be a light AT man. And then I want to make all of these guys playable, but not set as players. So select all of them. Says the composition 8 objects. So you double click on the little flaggy bit up here, and then you scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Here it says playable. Let's tick that. Now they're all purple. That means that you can play as them. You can, but they're not like the default playable unit like this guy is. And you can copy, Control C, Control V to paste them. So now we have 2 squads. And I'm going to place down some supplies, props, objects, props, supplies, storage, CargoNet AF. I'm trying to keep it in canon here. We can plop that down right here. And now there are 2 different, because we have ACE loaded, we can either use the default Bohemia Interactive Arsenal or the ACE Arsenal. Some people prefer different ones, so we can just use both. So you double click on it, it'll take a second to load up the interface. There we go. We want to scroll down, and we want equipment storage. Scroll down, and we're going to tick Arsenal. That sets it up as a Bohemia Interactive Studios Arsenal, the default Arsenal. ACE Arsenal, we do by clicking this one, scroll down here, and we want to set this to blacklist. Click OK. Okay, and we're going to go in and just test out to make sure that Arsenal works. So place an area in multiplayer. So we have Zeus. We also have all of the other guys. See that they've like populated what they are automatically, so you don't have to do that every single time. So he's a light AT, and we've got repair specialist. Those are the two we changed. The rest of them are all the same. I'm going to go back into Zeus. Skip through this. Respawn. Okay, and here is our Arsenal over here. So, you can see this is the Bohemia Interactive Arsenal. Vanilla Arsenal. Yep, that works nicely. And if we hold our interaction key, we have the Ace Arsenal as well. Both flavours. Great, so that's working. I don't know why I pressed Y. And we're going to go back to the mission. Now at this point, we should probably actually save our mission. So, go to save up here. Oh crap, no. Scenario, save as, because we're already, see up here, we're actually a temp mission right now. Save as. And I usually give it the same name as I gave it in the attributes, so the name is going to be ts_z_416 iron_circle. There we go. We see it's changed up here to the file we're in, and it's the same as this, although it doesn't have to be. This as a v1, this doesn't. Okay, and that's all the setup we have to do. You can save this as a template. You just save it in a file for like each map. Just make something similar to this, and then you can go ahead and make your load up that file and make your mission that way. We're going to continue and make the mission ourselves. Make the rest of this mission. So for 16 players, we're going to have Fear as Op4, infantry, and patrol team is 4 guys. So there's 16 players. Let's say there's 8 players as an average. So we're going to want 16 enemies. That's 1 to 2, okay? Plus maybe something extra. So that's 8 of them. 1 there, 1 down there. This guy's going to be patrolling this area. This guy's going to be patrolling up and down along here. And then we're going to want a squad of 8 dudes in the middle here. We're also going to put down let's see that. Off-road HMG. I'm going to actually put him here so that he's partially hidden, but you can still see him if you're careful. And I'm actually going to set his, don't care about that, I'm going to set his fuel to 0 so he doesn't just decide to run off and go and do his own thing. These dudes I'm going to split up into their individual units. That was, to do that, hold control and drag. That's so you can group them, so you can group him to him and drag it off. And these are our 4 generic dudes. These are our 4 interesting dudes. Oh, I even selected that. So these guys are going to go at the front, I think. And I'll put the generic ones behind in this building. So auto rifleman can go there. Let's make you crouch. Normal rifleman. Can you see if you're there? Yeah, you can just stand here. Again, crouch. Medic. Let's say you set yourself up in this building. Now at the moment he's actually in the floor, so we're going to have to raise him up slowly. And I want him to be able to cover his friend, so we go. And light AT, let's have you crouching behind here. So we're going to assume that the players are going to come from this direction. These guys, similar thing, but we're going to hide them in this building. So you're a squad leader, you're important, you can go at the back. You're a marksman, there's a nice window that's there for you. You're a rifleman, you can sit in this window. And you're a grenadier. Oh, actually, I want the grenadier in that window. That's much more interesting. And you can actually, there's a window there, you can cover that direction. So stop being stuck on the floor. I have to try and go in there, shoot them. You, my friend, could do a similar thing if they try and come around this direction. Shoot them. So make sure you're placed in a decent spot. Yeah, pretty damn good. And make sure this guy's placed in a nice position. He might manage to explode himself, but oh well. Okay, so now I've got all my units kind of placed in the right positions. I'm going to go and set up some waypoints. So we want default. So these fellas, we just want these people to patrol up and down here. Move. So just click to put a move waypoint and cycle back here. See, they'll just kind of patrol route up here. And you're going to be safe. These fellas, similar thing, they're going to patrol down here, along here, and then back up. So let's move them to their starting position, which says about there. Move, click right to go. So if you can hold control, we'll put 2 down, and then we're going to switch to cycle. And again, make these guys safe as well. So they'll walk instead of running. And that is our simple mission. That's a perfectly acceptable mission. It'll take probably half an hour to complete. Interesting things you could do with this, you could put some intel in here when you're in the Zeus interface, lead them to another position, say further up this valley here, have them result that, and then have a counterattack from VR forces coming from, say, I don't know, this position maybe. I found that about half an hour per objective is pretty good, so you want 3 to 5 objectives per mission. Personally, I prefer to put in enough enemies for the first objective and then place down maybe just a few marker units for secondary objectives. So for instance, if I was going to make this an objective 2, I'd go in here and I'd say, well, let's just put a patrol team here, and I can do stuff to them properly in the Zeus interface. And if there's going to be a counter-attack from, say, this direction, I might put a patrol team here as well, just so that I know what I planned. And you can write all this stuff down on a piece of paper, that's generally a good idea. So let's just test our mission by going into the actual mission here. Okay, click continue. And we'll spawn in. Press Y to go into the Zeus interface. Yep, everyone's here. See, because we set Ace to add everything, we have all these guys already added, we don't have to do anything about that. And they're all, feeling pretty good about themselves. So if we wanted to add in some intel, for instance in this building, in here, you go in here, we could say, give me a table. We can go to modules. I think it's in scenario flow, yeah, create edit intel. this down, documents, tell title, delete on completion, let's say true because then they picked up. To bring this up here and on that table. And now, when they pick that up, you'll get a notification, and you can say, mark it on the map for them, and then they can go and attack that objective as well, during the course of which these guys will counter-attack. And place down more units if you feel that it's going a bit fast or a bit too slow. You can delete units if it's going a bit too slow, or just make them run away, which is fun. Okay, so I'll board, continue back. So that's how to make a basic mission. Once you've got it how you want to do, make sure you've saved it one last time. Then go to Scenario, Export, and export to Multiplayer. That exports it to the multiplayer folder in your Arma 3 directory. Easiest way to find that, you can right click, Properties, Local Files, Browse Local Files, and it is going to be in MP Missions. And this is the PBO, this is the mission file, so this is what you're going to want. Here it is, Iron Circle. You're going to want to give this to one of the admins so they can upload it to the server in time for your mission. So when you've done that, that's when you've got this mission file, open Discord, shoot everyone a message. And remember to put your mission on the website as well. So I've been Private Hoots, I hope that was helpful, and thanks for watching.